Hey, how's it going? My name is jackiefishhh and welcome back to some more Total War Warhammer 2 custom map Steel Faith Overhaul battles. Yes, that is a mouthful, but oh my god, am I excited to be back. You guys seem to really enjoy the last custom map battle I uploaded to the channel. So once again, we have another one, and this one's just going to be an all-out brawl to the death. And I mean, what's better? We're on a nice little high elf beach resort, and the Dark Elves have come to ruin Tyrion's day. So as always, we are using Steel Faith Overhaul. The latest update has just come out, adding in some beautiful looking units, balancing the game. I'll make sure to link it down below in the description for you guys. So if we quickly take a look at a few of the interesting units that are being brought in this battle, and then we'll dive straight into the engagement. So for the High Elves who are defending their beach resort, actually already having artillery shooting, so we'll go ahead and pause it not to miss any of the action. We have some of the Storm Rider, the Regiment of Renown, Sea Guard. We also have some Talons of Tor Kalada. I almost pronounced that right, but butchered it towards the end. As we go back, we have some more Sisters of Avalon with their awesome magic bows. We then have a Treeman up there leading forward these High Elf Spearmen. I definitely do dig the color packs for the new faction Avalon, and I really just wish they would give us a goddamn army painter, because just being able to customize your own custom army would make multiplayer so much better. I assume they're going to save it for the third game and probably sell it as DLC, unfortunately. But as we can go back, we have some more Sea Guard with bows and shields. We also have a Lawmaster back here with some of his Sword Masters of Hoath. A Phoenix Guard being led by Tyrion, which does look very cool right there. Tyrion leading forward his men bravely until glory. Then over on this far left hand side, we do have some of these great looking Maiden's Guard, which they've kind of got like the Wood Elf stance with the whatever they're called, the Wood Elf female warriors. We also then have some White Lions, and then finally the Fireborn Regiment of Renowned Dragon Princes. Very cool. Then if we quickly take a look at the Dark Elves, what they're bringing on their front line, they have Dark Shards with shields, lots of these crossbowmen. They're going to be supported by some Dread Spears and also the Bleak Swords as well. We then over on the flanks do have this Ice Blade Regiment of Renown Bleak Sword. I believe these guys do magic damage, maybe even applying frost damage, not 100% sure. We then have a repeater bolt thrower set up here. We have the Chilled, the War Hydra right here, the Ice Regiment of Renowned one, along with a Black Dragon up there. They're going to be supported by some of the Sisters of the Singing Doom. We then have more Bleak Swords up here, more heavy infantry, some Sisters of Slaughter right there, the Executioners, and I mean, with Dryad reskin, these Executioners look so goddamn clean. I mean, their armor is just absolutely amazing, really nice work, and I mean, Dryad reskin just adds so much flavor to the units. We then have a horde of Manticore Lords, and also we have Crone Hellebron on a Manticore as well. She's going to be leading the hordes forward. Then finally, over on the left-hand side, we do have some of the Reavers, Heralds, and also more crossbows. And then finally, some of the Black Guard and more Executioners. So a lot of very elite units. And let's just jump straight into this. I try to make these intros kind of as slow as possible. As slow as possible. I mean, that's the complete opposite of what I was trying to say. I try to make these intros as quick as possible so we can dive straight into the combat. But, I wanted, because Steel Faith has just come out, I wanted to run through a lot of the units. So the artillery fire is going to be going back and forth right now between both sides, as we basically just approach each other. It's going to probably be a pretty naughty range off. You can already actually see the crossbows for the Dark Elves shooting away at the Reaver Cavalry, which has kind of taken its position up in the woods. And I mean, I assume the High Elves will be taking this engagement all day long. We do have some of the Cold Dread Knights making their way forward, actually engaging in the Reavers. Along with that, we do have one of the, is this actually, no, I don't know who that is actually, I couldn't see. I think it's a special lord though, in Steel Faith Overhaul. More infantry is going to be pushed up onto the front line to help out, as the Dread Knights are doing a great job at pushing back the Reavers. Actually pretty impressive work, even under this much heavy fire. Luckily, being in the woods does help out. They're going to be pursuing that bow and charging forward. I mean, honestly, some spears need to get over here ASAP as the fight continues to go on. Just looking at the front line as well, we do have some of the Spearmen. I mean, just waiting. This is just a heavy missile fight right now. Does, however, look like we're going to be getting our first little melee engagement as these archers do push forward. But over on the other side, we have the Treemen, the Dryads, charging forward against the Dread Spears. And this is going to be the first battle. I mean, I love situations like this. I know I mention this quite often, but I love watching a battle and then seeing over the other side just another huge battle unfolding. I assume though the Dark Elves are going to claim victory over on this side until the reinforcements turn up. Well, can we even make it across there out of interest? I'm not sure what these guys are chilling here. Maybe this is like the last stand for the High Elves, but I wasn't sure if they could make their way around to help out this engagement right there. And I'm still not actually too sure. The crossbows coming in, dueling it out with the Talons of Tor Kalada, I think is how you pronounce it. Again, I try my best. You know, it's all about the effort that counts. So these archers are going to be pushing forward. I'm wondering why they're going so close, because the dread shards with shields are going to be taking these guys apart. Their crossbows are deadly at short range. You can see them just doing so much damage, whittling down the archer force. Maybe these guys just aren't working, but it seems like they're on a suicide mission right now. The crossbows are doing, you know, just so much damage. The artillery for the High Elves are doing quite a nice retaliation, though. You definitely can't complain there. But I just don't think it's going to be enough, honestly, as it just seems like there's just so much missile fire coming in, and the High Elves just need to be pushing forward. I mean, they're pushing forward their archer force now, and I imagine these guys have so much range. I just don't see why the High Elves aren't using it as they continue to push forward. You know, this should be their battlefield right here, hammering away the Dark Elves as they get closer and closer. And I think finally we're going to be starting to see the exchange, which honestly should have come earlier, as the first couple volleys do come flying in. But it could be a little bit too late. Oh, nice. A unit of Shrieking has managed to make its way down the ranks and actually into the enemy lines. This is going to be great for the advancing forces to kind of take a bit of pressure off of the front lines, because the High Elf front line has been smashed by the crossbows, and now this is just a perfect opportunity to unload every single arrow fire. The Treekin are actually pulling back. I think it's because they've kind of overextended it a little bit. And we can see the Treemen pulling back as well. I mean, honestly, they just need the infantry to fully come up here as more and more artillery does come in. Well, we're also going to get a pretty big spell coming off here. There's lots of clumped up units. Looks like a Vortex spell, which has just been noticed, but Banishment is going to be cast. Luckily, a lot of the infantry does manage to get out of the way, but Banishment is still chasing them down. And actually still getting on top of them. They should have carried on running. That was unfortunate right there. And the artillery is just still coming in. I mean, how many kills is that bolt thrower on right now? Because it's just shooting relentlessly. 46, but I imagine it's on a lot of HP damage. This one is actually only, unfortunately, on 4. But again, I think it's done a lot of HP damage. So the Archer Fire is finally in full effect, and as I said, this is honestly what the High Elves needed about 2-3 minutes ago. They kind of gave up a lot of their frontal units, like right here. You can just see their piles of their dead. And I honestly thought it'd be maybe more in the interest for the Dark Elves to close down the distance, but it looks like they're willing just to take the skirmish fight, which I don't think is an awful idea the way it's been playing out, but this repeated bolt thrower has just been doing so much damage. Is the balance power still really even? Yeah, balance power is still super even. We have the Dark Elves. We have the Dark Elves and 3,500 soldiers. Whereas the... oh my god, so much magic pouring in there. Whereas the High Elves are down to 2,200, but they started with 1,200 less men. So it's still kind of very even in this exchange. But I feel like the High Elves will start to pull apart. However, the Dark Elves have just claimed victory over on this right-hand side against the Dryad kind of push. So they can bring back all of these aerial units and just go for one big push into the High Elf line, which I assume is what we're going to be seeing soon once all of these Shrieking are dealt with. I mean, right now, this has just been a huge range engagement, and I would expect nothing less from these two factions. The repeated bolt thrower actually managed to full-on rout a unit of Blackguard of Nagaron. That is huge, with the Bleak Swords dropping low as well. The Archer Fire is still just coming in, and is this going to be the advance we need? Yeah, we're going to be seeing some of these swordsmen finally being pushed across, but I mean, just look at this artillery. It's like goddamn Normandy in here. Forward, men, not one step back. That's what I like to think Hellebrand is saying. You either charge forward at the enemy, or you die to my hands. And she'll take lots of pleasure in killing them. We have Malekith there as well, descending upon the Frost Phoenix. These swordsmen are finally going to get that. I mean, look at that as well. The High Elves just looking so beautiful. That is awesome, just seeing them just kind of appearing above the hill. Oh my god, look at that. Hold the line, boys. Hold the line. As the Bleak Swords come flying. But we're also going to be getting a beautiful charge by the Illyria. Oh my god. That was an amazing rear charge right there by this cavalry. Just completely dominating the Bleak Swords and actually routing them straight off the bat. More reinforcements being set off, and Murder's Prowess has now just been popped by the Dark Elves. A nice move right there as the Archer Fire continues to go in and rout more of these Bleak Swords. The nice thing is though, for the forces, we do actually get a nice Vortex spell on top of Malekith, is that they haven't really lost anything super valuable quite yet besides that unit of... That's doing some nice damage to Malekith. Besides the unit of Dread Spears. Not Dread Spears, the Black Guard of Nagaron. They lost one unit. But besides that, they're kind of just throwing away a lot of crappy units, which really isn't too much of a huge issue. They still have a fairly nice aerial dominance. They have all of this back here. Some units are routed, some units are waiting to come back. But, you know, they're doing pretty decent, and they're taking out, you know, the Tree King, the Tree Man, all the Dryads over there, and all of their kind of monstrous units are looking pretty healthy. The Dragon Princes have come in now as well, looking for blood. I mean, just, oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, that looks oh my god, that looks so good. More arrows coming in. That is pretty goddamn badass, I'm not gonna lie. Especially with all the arrow fire as well. Sometimes these Warhammer battles just seal themselves. And this is what I'm really hoping that This is what I'm really hoping that 3K really gets in. Having these like aerial combats, just watching these blocks of soldiers smash into each other, and then being able to zoom all the way in and just watching epic, you know, back and forth with infantry. Because, I mean, there's nothing better than this. So we do have a dragon up there. Is this a star dragon? Yeah, we do have a star dragon up there as well. Oh, a nice little blade wind right there as well if we speed up the camera a little bit. Yeah, that ripped through the back lines here, and a lot of the crossbow fire can now come in and find these missiles, which is being the main focus for the Dark Elves right now. The Archer Fire is trying to exchange out with them though, but with their extra shields, it's kind of nice that they have that bit of extra protection. The Frost Phoenix is probably being... It's such a tanky thing, the Frostheart Phoenix, that you can kind of keep these units busy for some time, as Malekith and the rest of the boys are kind of sitting a little bit further back. The front infantry line has broken for the Dark Elves, however they have plenty more reinforcements to send in, and I believe it's time for the Executioners to even be brought into the fray. The Dragon Prince is proving their worth. Yeah, we've got some Executioners over here. Probably one of the strongest, if not the strongest, melee infantry units in the game. Especially if you stick some buffs on them, these guys will just cut through anything you send at them. Oh, does it like that the High Elves are actually sending a small force over on this left-hand side. We got White Lions here advancing forward across the beachhead. They're going to be supported by some of them other infantry females up there as well. The warrior shield maidens, even though they don't have shields. We just can't remember what they're called. They're going to be pushing up. What are they called? Let's have a look. Some of the Maiden Guard. And they're going to be advancing in, and I mean, they should make quick work over these Dread Spears who are already fairly wounded. It's whether or not they can push all the way around though and kind of inflict this battle, because it does look like the High Elves are starting to run out of infantry. Granted, they have a lot of these Sword Masters, but what the hell are these Sword Masters going to do against this War Hydra and the aerial units? And we now have all of the Dark Elves flying in onto the back line. If they can silence all of these missiles, the High Elves are going to be in a horrible situation where they just don't have the infantry to deal with the monsters, and then they have all the monsters killing the archers, and it's just a downward spiral. Especially if the High Elf General goes down as well. I mean, they still have a couple in reserve back here. Tyrion's holding back with his Phoenix Guard, ready to be sent into the fray when the time is called upon it. As we can see, the War Hydra is running amok. The cavalry is coming in and just retreating. Hammer and anvil, hammer and anvil, hammer and anvil. Now we even have the Swordmasters just being, perfect fire for the crossbows. And now the War Hydra is going to come flying in as well, along with the Executioners. And there's just so much pressure on their line. Have they managed to deal with the Dread Spears? They have. Yeah, they cut through them. Oh my god, that wasn't even close. These guys have already gone past them. Just that's how weak their front line was. I mean, it's not to be, it's to be expected as well. These White Lions and also the Maiden Guard would just kill them as quickly as they did. And now they're going to wrap around. It's much needed, but they do come around. And we do have some nice infantry force here. Some Dread Spears, some Sisters of Slaughter, and the Witch Elves over there as well. Does look like the High Elves have now brought Tyrion in with his Phoenix Guard. The Silent Warriors. Tyrion's going to be pushing his way into the battle. Going to be coming up against a lot of missile fire, but Tyrion needs to get his Phoenix Guard engaged on these guys. Oh, what's that? What's that we get? Oh, nice little explosion right there. I believe that was just one of Malekith's abilities. The artillery position is starting to be taken down now, but I mean, these guys have run out of ammunition. We also have some of the Dragon Princes as well, making their way around the beachhead. Phoenix Guard charging. This is just not a good engagement for the Phoenix Guard right now. Fighting Executioners is not what they should be doing. We'll also get some Chill Wind coming in. The Eagles are here. And Tyrion is dueling. I mean, Tyrion is such a good melee specialist that he'll be very effective. We also have the Regiment of Renowned Phoenix Guard up here as well. The Light of the Azor on her Eagle. The Dragon has now been made operational. That thing is going to be pushing forward. This has just been one hell of a range battle. Another Blade Storm directly on top. Even if they kill some of their own men, they're doing so much damage to the Phoenix Guard. And the balance of power is starting to shift in favor of the Dark Elves. The Dark Elves have actually gone ahead and taken the man advantage, or the elf advantage, I should say, which they haven't done. And they still have a lot of their aerial units left. Granted, over on this side, I think the High Elves have the advantage just to sheer, quality of troops. The Sisters of Slaughters are good, but I don't think they're going to take out the White Lions, who are melee infantry specialists, anti-infantry. And there's also 2 units of them. However, if monstrous units come in, then maybe it will be different as these Feral Menticle or Menticle Lords come in. The Fireborn are very anti-large and obviously fire damage as well, so that's a good little exchange. These guys are anti-piercing. Are they armor-piercing? No, these guys are poisoning, so they'll reduce their damage. And you also have the crossbows as well here, doing some pretty nice damage. I mean, this battle is going to be super close. The balance power is shifting in favor of the Dark Elves, but yeah, actually looking at the battle right now, I just don't see a way of dealing with these War Hydras. The Phoenix Guard just came in and got killed way too quickly by the Executioners. And now the Dragons are being chased down by the Chill Hydras. We have a couple Phoenix Guard here, and yeah, this is what they need to do. They need to be using the Dragons to take out the infantry so that the Phoenix Guard can go ahead and help out against the humongous units of the War Hydras. Over here we have some Phoenix Guard again fighting the crossbows, which aren't going to be too difficult for them because they're crossbows, but even still I feel like this unit should be better placed to kill the large units. That's exactly what they're designed for, the Phoenix Guard, to kill these anti-large or these large units. And they're just not getting the right matchup right now, and that's really causing a devastating loss. I mean, look how low Malekith was. If they could just get a couple more volleys into him, take him down, that'd be horrific for the morale of this battle. The Dragon needs to go and maybe just try and focus him down. Granted, he's going to get 2v1'd, but it might be worth it. Over on the left-hand side as well, the majority of the High Elf force has now been killed. Just a few White Lions. The extra Manticores and the crossbows were just far too much for them. And now we have a little last stand as the Manticore comes in and cleans it off. So it looks like the Dark Elves are going to be overtaking this holiday resort and ruining Tyrion's day. Oh god, it's been fun coming back to these custom map battles, honestly. And I much prefer the format that they're in now. There's only so many hour-long battles I can do before I want to blow my brains out. As awesome as they are, it's just very draining. Whereas these more kind of concise 20 to 30 minute battles on these custom maps are still epic and still really fun, but it's just, you know, there's no downtime. It's action all the time, and I absolutely love it. So more battles like this, please, my Discord. And a massive thank you to the Discord for playing this battle and sending it in. If you guys want to be a part of these battles in the future, be sure to drop a like and a comment down below, and obviously join that Discord. The link will be in the description, and you know, just let people know that you want to be a part of these battles and get the guys who plays battles tags, and you'll get notified when people are looking for players. So make sure to do that. As we continue on the battle, though, we can see that Tyrion is still alive, even if he is getting just trampled and thrown to the dirt by the Manticore Lords. And this has been one hell of a bloody battlefield. But I think Tyrion is one of the only soldiers left. He is one of the 93 brave High Elves. A lot of them as well are just very low. We even have a Lawmaster right here, but he's going to be taken out as well. Unfortunately, and I mean, this is a cluster as the dragon tries its best, but we've got crossbow fire coming down. We've got all of the chill hydras as well. Yeah, that's going to be all she wrote for this battle, it would seem. Unfortunately, the High Elves just don't have the staying power. But I mean, just look at the battlefield. This was one hell of an engagement. It really, really was. The archer fire going back and forth was just crazy. The artillery fire really did kind of show. Instead of just, you know, a straight up melee engagement, we had a skirmish phase and a half, which was just absolutely awesome to watch. So as we wrap up this replay, oh, it does look like Tyrion has managed to do an okay job at actually killing this Black Arc Flame Master, or at least routing him. However, he's routing himself. He has no one left to help him. The Dark Elves ending up with 471 soldiers. And I think we'll just speed it up through the last couple of minutes. It was a valiant defeat for the High Elves. They lost their holiday resort. I'm sure they'll make Malekith and Hellebrand pay for this. They're ruining their holiday. So if we take a look at the kills, oh my god, Avalon getting over 384 kills on their champion. Illyriel doing amazing right there. The rest of their units maybe not stacking up as well as she would have liked, but we do have this unit right here, the Maiden Guard, 133, which is not too bad. Looking at the other force of the High Elves, we can see that the Swordmasters of the Hoeth doing their thing. But the Sea Guards just couldn't really get into the battle, unfortunately. And especially considering the Dragon came into the battle so late, that thing did pretty nice as well. Taking a look over onto the Dark Elf side, Malekith 138, you always kind of expect that of him. And also the Chilled War Hydra as well, 135, not too bad whatsoever. Then finally, the other Dark Elf force, we've got 94 here and 122 on the Witch Elf. So, oh, and 254 on the Dragon as well. So very, very nice performance there. If you guys, as I said, want to be a part of these battles, join my Discord, and make sure to drop a like and a comment if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.